Hey guys, welcome back. So programs declare variables to store, which means to remember information. Actually, they manipulate, they examine and they update this information when they run. So simple variables typically store some value input by the user or some value calculated by the program from user inputs. When a program runs, the value in some of its variables change, so the value stored in a variable can vary as the program runs. So what are operators? Actually, an operator is a very vital program element that is applied to one or more operands in an expression or statement. The two most common operators are either arithmetic or logical. So computer programs are widely used for mathematical calculations. We can write a computer program which can do simple calculation like, for example, adding two numbers, 2 plus 3. And we can also write a program which can solve a complex equation, for example, 4 multiple 7 plus 3, etc. That means that if you have been a poor student, you must be aware that with these operands you can solve very complex equations that may seem very difficult for you. So actually this is because similar concepts exist also in computer programming. So you can see here, for example, in the variable y, it will be stored the value 2 plus 3, which means that we'll have the value 5, while the variable n1, it will have the value 11 minus 2 multiple 4, actually 11 minus 8, so n1 will have the value 3. So these two statements actually are called arithmetic expressions in a programming language. The two more basic are plus and minus, used in the examples that we saw. We also have multiplication, and we have division, and this is actually a very important arithmetic operator that means remainder. For example, if we say 28 remainder 5, then it will be 5 multiple 5 equals 25, so the remainder from 28 is 3. 12 remainder 10 would be actually 2. So 48 again remainder 10. Stop the video and write me the answer. This means actually that 10 actually 4 multiple 10 equals 40, so the remainder is only 8. And one final example, 51 remainder 5 equals with 1. I'm sure that after these examples you understood the example of the remainder. You might be curious when it would be used, in which problems. Trust me that this actually operator is a very common operator, and you will need it in many problems that you might want to use. Actually, the most commonly used operator in problems like wanting to know if a number is even or not. So actually a programming language provides various arithmetic operators. These are the most used. We have addition, and actually we could have string concatenation and delegate combination. So if x, for example, has the value Christos and y has the value Christos is bad, after this and this we will have the sentence Christos is bad. While we also have subtraction, which means also delegate removal. So we also have conditional operators. Logical operators are actually very important in any programming language, and they can help us to take decisions based on certain conditions. Suppose we want to combine the result of two conditions, then logical AND and logical OR are two logical operators that help us in producing the final result. So in this example, we would evaluate y only if x is true. This is conditional AND, so we have to be true also x and y, while in this conditional OR evaluates y only if x is false, which means only if one of the two variables is true, the result will be true. For example, here true, false will result to true, while here true, false will result to false. Actually, this is true. So consider in relational operators, consider a situation where we create two variables and assign them some values. In these relational operators, we could actually check if the value of the variable x equals the value of the variable y, or if the value of the variable x is different than the value of the variable y, if the value of the variable x is more or equal, and finally if the value of the variable x is less or equal. So with these symbols we call them relational operators in their simplest form. Actually, they produce Boolean results, which means the result will be either true or false. If value of the variable x is equal value of the variable y, then it will be true, or if they are different, it will be false. The same in all these categories, in all these conditions. Thank you very much, and looking forward to seeing you in the next lesson.